God, I'm gonna get so much hate for this.
So in my most recent poll, this movie won by quite a bit for me to watch, and I have never seen this movie. Well, that's technically a lie. I watched this movie in primary school because despite not being religious, I went to a Christian school, and the only fond memories I have of studying religion were belting out hymns during school assembly.
Give me oil in my lamp, keep me burning.
So I need you to understand that I don't remember any of this movie, nor do I barely remember anything about religion of any kind. But The Prince of Egypt was the second film to come out of DreamWorks Animations, coming out shortly after Ants, and we all know how that one went.
He told me you killed him.
No. I am your father. Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
And of course, it is based on the Book of Exodus, which, as I said, due to me being completely religion illiterate, I know nothing about. This has been a highly requested on my channel from Discord members, to comments, and to friends. And I always knew that this would happen. I just don't like this movie. Look, before you click off the video, please just hear me out. I recognize that this film is incredible. It 100% is. And I totally get why people love this movie. But I gotta speak from the heart and tell you my thoughts. I'm going to try and review this from an understanding that films were made very differently 28 years ago. So seeing Moses having an American accent and the fact that most of the cast in this movie just, shouldn't be cast, I recognize and understand that this thing just sort of happened in Hollywood.
God damn, that was racist.
But with that, let's get through all the amazing stuff that I love about this movie that even I can't deny is definitely brilliant. For 1998, this film's animation is absolutely stunning. Like, if there is any proof that 2D drawn animation is superior to 3D, this is why. The film is 26 years old and it still looks absolutely incredible. I mean, Shrek came out in 2001 and that film looks awful compared to this. I don't like to get in the argument of 2D animation versus 3D animation, but holy hell, this has gotta be point up for 2D. Obviously, given how the film is about a biblical story, it obviously matches that, but holy crap, me saying doesn't really do it justice. Look at this shot! Look at it! Lighting shots, beautiful wides and close-ups, and considering the film is set in Egypt, it does some incredible things with colour. Again, looking back in this film, it really reminded me how DreamWorks really can make phenomenal films, and sometimes they aren't just seen as second-rate Disney.
Yeah, second best.
Even to the way the music and musical numbers all mesh to create a seamless narrative. Even some Disney films feel like they can't do this very well. They're moving from scene to scene, and now it's time to sing! Prince of Egypt feels seamless in when and how it goes from scene to song and back to scene. It never takes it out of you and feels out of place. And when you have two legends, them being Hans Zimmer and Steven Schwartz at the helm, you can kind of understand why. A film with these two at the helm was never going to have bad music, and the film does not disappoint. If you're enjoying this video, why not subscribe to the channel? It is completely free. I do weekly videos talking about all the best animated films that is new and old, and I've even started some Let's Play videos doing Disney video games, with my first one being Toy Story 2 on the PlayStation 1. Subscribing is the best way to help me out, guys, and I really appreciate it. Anyway, back to the video. Once again, never seeing this movie, I didn't understand how much of a star-studded cast this film has. Patrick Stewart, Michelle Pfeiffer, Ralph Fiennes, even Steve Martin and Martin Short pop in for a few scenes. I must give credit to what I thought was a standout performance to Ralph Fiennes as Ramses. Ramses? We're gonna say Ramses. But someone like Ralph Fiennes, who has such a monotone voice, and I don't mean that in a bad way, his performance truly stands out, giving us a dark and charismatic performance from a character who goes through such a transition throughout the whole movie. Also, Jeff Goldblum is in this! I also want to know who did him dirty in the animation department, because somehow they managed to make a caricature version of him that looks like him, just much uglier. Look at this man. They did Jeff dirty. Jeff Goldblum is one of the most gorgeous people alive, especially back in the day, and even more, he has daddy vibes now. Oh my god, they did him dirty. Hashtag justice for Jeff. But all performances are wonderful, and I enjoyed the idea of Val Kilmer, who also voices Moses, also plays the voice for God. Voicing God in any piece of media always comes with some backlash from religious parties, but making the voice be the same voice actor is clever given its symbolism of Moses hearing the voice in his own head, or the voice that was simply inside of him all along, actually kind of making the narrative better, and it also makes it less controversial. Well done, DreamWorks, clever thinking on your part.
Wow, I'm so smart!
So after all this praise, going back to what I said at the start of this video, why don't I like this movie? I mean, sure, part of it is that it has just such a serious tone that it is very clearly going for. It's going for the more Les Mis of the animation world, which is interesting because I don't like Les Mis either. I just want something a little bit more lighthearted in my animated movies. While don't get me wrong, I love nothing more than a dark and serious theme in animated movies, there are millions of incredible examples of them doing absolutely both. But I understand that with a film like this, I don't think it would be appropriate for Moses to have some goofy sidekick voiced by Jim Carrey. That's clearly not what they're going for.
Look at your people, Moses.
Oh, that's it. I've had it with this dump! We got no food, we got no jobs, our pets' heads are falling off!
But in the back of my mind, I just don't understand who this film is for. It's not for kids, it's way too serious and boring. If you're someone like me who finds religion a little bit off-putting, then the film feels dull. And I'm not saying that if you're not religious, you can't enjoy this movie, because I'm sure there are people out there who do. But if you're like me, you understand that biblical stories are flawed. While The Prince of Egypt and the original story it is based on has some wonderful themes of how we treat different people and its beliefs, it also has some very questionable stuff.
The Bible say, yea, though she walked in the valley with the shadow of Little Red Riding Hood and the three bears, she feared no evil, because the three little pigs was not around. Amen. Hallelujah.
And due to the seriousness of where this story came from, as I mentioned, I don't expect DreamWorks to change the story. It should be told as it is told. The film is flawed because of where it comes from. The film is larger than life, whereby the story is told from a larger than life book. Moses as a main character isn't as relatable as, say, Woody from Toy Story, Puss in Boots, or even Shrek. And that's because his story doesn't allow him to. I don't ever relate to Moses or his struggles, and while that could be because I'm a white privileged male and you would be 100% right, but the story is about someone being chosen for something bigger than himself, rather than a personal story about growth. They do go into a little bit with Moses being conflicted with his place of origin and his relationship with Ramesses, but at the end of the day, the story is bigger than all of them. The Prince of Egypt is an incredible movie, and I would argue that it even paved the way for a much more serious tone of animated movies. But its flaws come from its origins. A film about a biblical reference for me can only do so much. While I don't want Moses to do a whole tap dancing routine about being prince one day, maybe I need Moses to do a tap dance routine about being prince one day. Watching this film in modern day of 2025 is weird, given how religion is perceived more these days. I tried to watch this film without my opinions on religion, as well as an open mind to know that things were different back in 1998. I must also understand that there are people that grew up this movie, and I haven't. I hope you guys understand how much of a lack of religious knowledge I have of it. For instance, right at the end, this stone, is it the Ten Commandments? I had to Google it. I really did. Reviewing this movie for me is kind of impossible from a professional standpoint, but I always recognize something good even if I understand that this film isn't for me. So with all that in mind, it is getting my professional rating of 8 out of 10, but my personal rating of 4 out of 10. I do think the film is flawed. Its first half is paced really slowly, and it doesn't really pick up until Moses leaves. As I mentioned, this film is limited because of its need to present the story in the most honest way. The film is really good, but I probably won't ever watch it again. As we say in England, this film just isn't my cup of tea. So thank you for joining me in this video. Let me know in the comments section why you love this movie, because I know I'm going to get so much hate for this, but I'd love to talk more about it in the comments section. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel for more great content on all things animation. The one being recommended for you on screen apparently is one that you will really like, and who are we to argue with the YouTube algorithm? Make sure to follow me over on my Discord group, guys, with a link in the description, and it is the best way to suggest future videos. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.